Egypt, the New Kingdom, 1550 to 1070 BC. The New Kingdom is the third major division of Egyptian history. It was a time of artistic achievement, military might, prosperity at home, and prestige abroad. Hatshepsut was the daughter of a great Thutmose I, and widow to the weak Thutmose II. After her husband's death, she took the throne and ruled Egypt in her own right. She wore male clothing and even traditional false beard worn by the pharaohs.
Here is Hatshepsut's cartouche. Now, what's interesting with Hatshepsut, right? Since there's two basic, they say that this is hot, right? This symbol right here, and they say that this is Shepsut, the front part of the lion. Now, we can kind of get into that, but let's first deal with this whole. Is her name Ma'at Ka Ra, or is it Re Ma'at Ka?
In the 18th dynasty of Egypt, Hatshepsut built a Red Sea fleet to facilitate trade between the head of the Gulf of Aqaba and points south as far as Punt to bring mortuary goods to Karnak in exchange for Nubian gold. Hatshepsut personally made the most famous ancient Egyptian expedition that sailed to Punt. During the reign of Queen Hatshepsut in the 15th century BC, ships regularly crossed the Red Sea in order to obtain bitumen, copper, carved amulets, naphtha and other goods transported overland and down the Dead Sea to Elat at the head of the Gulf of Aqaba, where they were joined with frankincense and myrrh coming north both by sea and overland along trade routes through the mountains running north along the east coast of the Red Sea. A report of that 5-ship voyage survives on reliefs in Hatshepsut's mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahari. Throughout the temple texts, Hatshepsut maintains the fiction that her envoy, Chancellor Nessi, who is mentioned as the head of the expedition, had travelled to Punt in order to extract tribute from the natives who admit their allegiance to the Egyptian pharaoh. In reality, Nessi's expedition was a simple trading mission to a land, Punt, which was by this time a well-established trading post. Moreover, Nes's visit to Punt was not inordinately brave, since he was accompanied by at least 5 shiploads of Egyptian marines and greeted warmly by the chief of Punt and his immediate family. The Puntites traded not only in their own produce of incense, ebony and short-horned cattle, but also in goods from other African states, including gold, ivory and animal skins. According to the temple reliefs, the land of Punt was ruled at that time by King Pharaoh and Queen Ati. This well-illustrated expedition of Hatshepsut occurred in year 9 of the female pharaoh's reign with the blessing of the god Amun. Quote, said by Amen, the Lord of the thrones of the two land, come in peace, my daughter, the graceful, who art in my heart, King Mardkari, Hatshepsut. I will give thee Punt, the whole of it. I will lead your soldiers by land and by water, on mysterious shores, which join the harbours of incense. They will take incense as much as they like. They will load their ships to the satisfaction of their hearts with trees of green fresh incense, and all the good things of the land. While the Egyptians were not particularly well versed in the hazards of sea travel, and the long voyage to Punt must have seemed something akin to a journey to the moon for present-day explorers. The rewards of obtaining frankincense, ebony and myrrh clearly outweighed the risks. Hatshepsut's 18th dynasty successors, such as Thutmose II and Amenhotep II, also continued the Egyptian tradition of trading with Punt. The trade with Punt continued into the start of the 20th dynasty before terminating prior to the end of Egypt's New Kingdom. Papyrus Harris I, a contemporary Egyptian document that detailed events that occurred in the reign of the early 20th dynasty King Ramesses II, includes an explicit description of an Egyptian expedition's return from Punt. Quote, they arrived safely at the desert country of Coptos. They moored in peace, carrying the goods they had brought. The goods were loaded, in travelling overland, upon asses and upon men, being reloaded into vessels at the harbour of Coptos. The goods and the Puntites were sent forward downstream, arriving in festivity, bringing tribute into the royal presence. After the end of the New Kingdom period, Punt became an unreal and fabulous land of myths and legends.